Hey everybody, Tom Foster at the Legal Marketing Edge, and today we have a very special guest, our own Hannah McNaughton, who does all of the content for Foster Web Marketing and the clients. Not herself personally, but she manages our giant US-based content team. Welcome, Hannah.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming down to Virginia. You're up there in Michigan?
I am. It's Ann Arbor, college town, so it's fun. There's always a lot of stuff going on, but yeah, it gets pretty cold in the winter, so it's nice to get out every now and then.
Yeah, and it's good to have you down here, and you've got your team down here.
Right.
Well, part of your team.
Mm-hmm.
And we're having our big services summit where we're talking about how to do things better for our clients, the marrying of content and SEO and social media and video and PR and the rest of it all together.
Right, yeah, it's been exciting to learn about everything, you know, and how all the pieces fit together, and I'm looking forward to the future of the company and where it's going to go.
And what is the most important foundational piece of all web marketing?
Well, I mean, I don't want to, toot my own horn, for lack of a better term, but content, really. You can't have anything else without content. SEO is extremely important. Everything else is extremely important, but without content,
Right.
you have no base.
You have to have something to land the links on. You have to have something to point things on. It's not just your homepage. We've been talking about this for 100 years. This is what this entire company is based on, is content and producing content. That's why DSS was built, in order to add content to your website. And this might be a new thing today or old hat, depending upon your perspective, content marketing, but not much has changed. You still got to tell a good story.
Right. I mean, and I think it's even more important now to tell a good story, because you used to be able to just write content just for the sake of content, just to get it up there and get all of these keywords thrown in. And now it's more important to tell a good story, get readers interested in what you're actually saying, because Google knows, search engines know now if the content you're putting up is actually relevant or not.
And we've gone through lots of waves with how we do content here at Foster. And, back in the early days, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, just adding any content, like that was amazing. Wow, okay, that's new, because before it was back online brochures, so being able to add content was a big thing.
Right.
And then we went into this, well, now you have to have a ton of content. That's what Google wants, tons of content. And now we're away from all that again, and it's really good quality, not quantity content.
Right. And I think that's the big thing to remember, is that you need to focus on quality, not quantity. So many people try to post as much as they can just to get try to see if they can win in the numbers game. And really, it's not going to help you if it's all crap.
Right, because that just draws junk
for
most of the time. And I've had lots of conversations with you guys out there about content. What are you trying to do with this piece of content? There should be a strategy with our content.
I mean, yeah, you do need a content strategy. First thing to think about is who you're writing for. People who are coming to your website, they don't want to know about you. They want to know about them. People are interested in themselves. They're there for their problems, for answers to their issues. So first of all, you need to think about who you're writing for, what are their issues, and then just try to build a content theme around that.
Your perfect client is who you're writing for, and that's what we're talking about. You need to determine where your perfect client lives, because that's going to geolocate your content correctly. Your perfect client does not live all over the world. We see that a lot of times where people don't geolocate their content properly. Where does your perfect client, what do they like? What do they like to do? Where do they shop? What do they read? What do they watch? These are important things that you need to know when you're marketing your business, and your firm is your business. And that's what we spend a lot of time doing here.
Right.
Is understanding not only our perfect client, but our client's perfect client.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's extremely important, and I think a lot of people lose sight of that, and that's why their content doesn't work. They come back to us after a while and say, I've been writing all this great content and doing a lot of it, but no one's coming to my site. Well, if you're not writing toward the right person and targeting them, then it's not going to work.
And it's funny, great content. What does that mean? I think that's in the eyes of the beholder. I mean, like I could write something all about me that, wow, I am really an awesome dude, right? And that's what we see a lot, unfortunately, from law firms and attorneys. They just talk about themselves and how great they are and how long they've been in business and all the cases and the millions and millions of dollars thinking that's what people want.
Right.
And maybe some people want that, but not everybody wants to read that stuff.
Right. And I mean, and the thing is, if they do want to read it, they know where to find it. It's on your bio page.
Right.
Right. But the fact of the matter is they're coming to your site for them. It's not for you.
And they want to find information about how you're going to help them. And that's why the way that we do content is broken up in each. Okay, so when you say content, that's a big thing. There's categories of content.
Right.
Let's talk about the different kinds of content.
All right.
So what are some kinds of content that we target, that we focus on?
Well, I mean, starting from laying your groundwork and your foundation. First of all, when you build your site, you have to have a good homepage, good practice area pages, your bio pages, case results, that sort of thing. Then you start building up your library, blog, FAQ, news articles. Those are pretty familiar to people, and that's the thing that people think about a lot when they talk about content. But a really big piece of content now that a lot of people don't think about or don't use as much is video, and it's extremely important.
Video.
Yeah, video. You need to have
Totally.
videos. You need to have lots of lots of great videos, not just lots of videos, but great videos that are relevant. Make sure that you have videos added to the pages of your written content. That's going to help to increase, the time that people stay on your page and keep your bounce rate lower and give people the information they're looking for.
Video truly is the best kind of content today. It helps you in 3 ways, which is quite unique compared to other content, because it can help you with search engine optimization. Remember that Google owns YouTube, so it has a vested interest in video. You can see that in Google search results, video thumbnails show up. They're visually more appealing, and people click on the video thumbnails more than they click on regular content. And who can argue with the fact that if you go to a landing page and there's a video there, you're going to stay there and read or watch the video before you're going to read some static text.
Mm-hmm, right.
That's how it works. And then social media. That's the other piece. Adding your video thumbnails and your videos to social media are huge. So it has so many awesome opportunities for you. And we just sat in a meeting, our weekly SEO meeting, right?
Mm-hmm.
About Foster Web Marketing, and we just did some analysis and saw that our video pages have usurped all the other kinds of content that we have out there, hands down.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And our bounce rate for our video pages is almost half as much as other pages. The time on page is like average 3.5 minutes. I mean, this is unheard of for content pages. So video is key. We pump out a lot of content for our clients.
Right.
So we service about right now 70, 75.
Those are just our monthly clients.
Right, our monthly
our
clients.
continuing clients. Mhm.
And so right now we're pumping out about 1,600 pieces of content.
Right, yeah. That's what we're at now, but with all of the content that we're writing, we're probably 2,000 or a little more than 2,000 pieces of content per month that we're writing when you're including videos and new websites and that sort of thing as well.
Do we outsource any of that?
We don't know, and that's the beauty of the company. Everything is made in the USA. All of our writers, our editors are all over the U.S. So when we have new clients come in from somewhere that's not necessarily close to us, we usually always have a writer-editor who's close to them. So they're really familiar with the area that they're writing about.
It's funny because it's a common misconception, like how do we get it all done? Our own social media director, it's her first time here, Mariana, when she came in, she thought that we collectively in the company wrote all the content and did not even realize that we have, 40?
We have 42 right now, writers and editors. We also have translators. So yeah, we have a really pretty big staff, and our staff is really, it's a good mixture of backgrounds. We have people who went to school just to be writers. We also have people who were attorneys and who still are practicing attorneys who write for us on the side.
And we try to pick, match up the right kind of writer to, the right kind of attorney and whatnot. It's a very customized approach. That's what we like to do here. We try to we strive to be Nordstrom's for web marketing.
Right, exactly.
Hannah, so I'm an attorney and I'm looking to write my own content, or I work for an attorney, and using our DSS system, you can add your own content, and that's really what it's based on. And most of our clients do their own thing.
Right.
We have our new content guide that is coming out.
Right.
Thank you very much for authoring that. It's really good.
Yeah, I'm
So
really excited about it.
looking forward to printing that and getting that out to everybody. But let me ask you this question, because it's a question that we always get. Where do attorneys get ideas for content?
The number one place to get ideas is think about your perfect client. Who do you want to talk to? Don't just talk about any and all areas that you're practicing and everything around your location. You really need to hone in on who you actually want in the door. And also look at the kinds of questions that the people who are coming to you are asking you. Keep a notebook, keep some sort of a file or a folder of those things, because they're handing you content to talk about.
Does that sound familiar? We've only been talking about that forever, right? And they keep asking the same question. It's not that hard, guys. You write content that your clients that you have been seeing for years and years, they tell you every time they walk in the office what their questions are. And if all you do every day is meet with clients and think about the 4 to 5 questions that they will ask you during your interview, and you write them down, you have content.
Right. I mean, and those questions that they ask are great to do videos on. They're normally, you can do a short and sweet little video just about every single question that they ask you, and that's a great way to get really great videos up on your site.
And this is exactly what we're doing, because this is one of the questions that we get is
Right.
like, what do I write about? How do I know what to write about? Another great way to get ideas about what to write about is Google Alerts.
Right.
Right? And we can put up a link here to how to do that. We've done a video about how to set up your Google Alerts. And so that gives you ideas. Sometimes what not to do. And it's not, don't do like personal injury lawyer and all that stuff. That's only going to give you a bunch of other bad content from other lawyers that don't know how to write content.
Right. Yeah.
It's really more listening to, getting involved, as you said, where your perfect client is. What are they doing? What are they talking about? What are they reading? What are they watching? Where are they shopping?
Yeah.
You know, and I remember having this conversation with the client a while back where we really had to get granular on it. I had to continue to ask the question again. You know, basically, well, who's your perfect client? You know, one that has insurance. Okay, well, that's not the end of it. There's a lot of people that have insurance, but you know, you don't want somebody that's 300 miles away to come to you. So, okay, somebody that has insurance. So they have to have a certain kind of insurance. So that means that they have to have a certain kind of income.
Right.
So that means that they have to shop in a certain kind of mall, right?
Right.
And so you got to think creatively like that. So I answer my own question. What is the other big, cool benefit of breaking news? You know, Matt White has told us, our buddy at Gray and White, when he does his breaking news videos, what happens?
It's really great because you get the breaking news published onto the web first. And then all of these other big firms will pay big bucks to have commercials done, get them on TV, and then when people see them, they'll go search and they'll find your content, which is
Right.
posted on the web first.
And I don't think we were supposed to tell that, because Matt was like, don't tell anybody about that.
Right.
It's too cool, Matt, sorry. But it's true, and that's
Right.
what happens is like they see stuff on TV and they go right to the web. Don't we do that? And we're like, hey, I like those new shoes, or you know, that's a cool jacket or something. You know, you're not going to go, well, let me go put my clothes on and go to the store. We're going to go to the web. Just like we were talking about earlier, we want to address frequently asked questions that our clients ask us, whether we, you know, a lot of questions were like, didn't we answer that like 18 years ago?
Yeah.
But the point is that people ask the same questions over and over again, and our
Right.
job is to answer them.
And it's always changing too.
Right. So one of the big questions is, how long should my content be?
That's a really popular question that we get asked. And I mean, there's not really a set limit. You know, I'm not going to say it should be 400 words exactly. But the point is that it needs to be long enough that it holds your reader, that it gives your reader what they're looking for. Short enough that they're not completely, you know, exhausted by the end of it and not reading the whole entire thing. But you need to, regardless of the length, that's not really the thing to focus on as much as the content. You need to focus on writing for the perfect client, including the things that they're looking for, answering the questions that they have on their mind. And if you do that, then you'll be in good shape. Here within the company, we stick to about 400 to 600 words for articles. It's a good baseline, but again, it varies.
And you want to also consider just not that piece of content, but linking off from that content into other content that you've added to the site, related links, related content.
Right. It's really good to add related links to your content. I mean, if people come to your site looking for answers to one thing, chances are they're going to be interested in other sorts of areas that are right around that topic as well.
Another thing that I suggest to clients is, and I read this somewhere, especially with bios, is read them out loud. Read your content out loud to yourself, or have someone else read it out loud, and you'll hear how awkward it is if it's all about you or if it's written in the wrong kind of voice. If you're not comfortable with the way that it sounds to you, then no one else is going to be.
Right, yeah.
At Foster Web Marketing, one of the things that we really preach and we push our clients to do is not just create content, but create offers. And that's really when somebody's not really ready to contact you, but they want more information from you, and it's almost like, okay, it's not a full date, but I'll give you my number, call me.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and who doesn't love a free offer?
Right.
Even if they don't need it, they still love it.
And they work.
They do.
I'm a lawyer. Why do I want to put a free book or free offer or a report or whatever on my website? I just want to get cases.
Well, that's one of the best ways to get cases. People are going to want to come to you if you're an expert in what they're looking for. It really builds your credibility to have these types of free offers like books on your website. So when people order these, you can do it in a couple different ways. You can put a free PDF on your site for people to download, which is more cost effective in the short run, but they might not necessarily come back to look at it. However, if you do a printed version of your book and send it to them, they're not going to throw it away. They're going to keep it around, and your name's always going to be in front of them, and they might even pass it off to someone else who's looking for your information as well.
Yeah, we've been doing this for a while, and it's very apparent that if you've just got a PDF download, it doesn't work as well for lead gen as a real book that you'll send. Okay? Because we all go to websites and get PDFs all the time, get PDFs sent to us. What happens to 99% of them?
Right. I don't print them out, and they just go away.
You don't even look at them a lot of times, right? So with a real book, whether or not you read it or not, it's going to sit on your desk or you're going to hand it to somebody else. So it's a very prestigious business card. That's another, and plus it's a lead gen. So every time somebody orders your book,
then you can market to them. Yeah, you have their information, and you can keep marketing to them until they're ready to come to you for whatever their issues are.
And that's a part of content marketing as
Right,
well.
it is.
And we write lots of books for lawyers and reports. It doesn't have to be a big book. We just wrote an Actos report for a client.
Right.
We do stuff like that.
Right.
So.
We can write short reports or even longer books. It can be a report that's 10 pages long, or you can do something that's a little longer, 30, 40 pages, if that's what you're interested in. But yeah, we have all sorts of different lengths.
Yeah, and so it just depends on what you're trying to do. Once again, going back to what Hannah said, what does your perfect client want? And so you want to listen to what your perfect client wants. You've been practicing law long enough to know. And so address those. And that's really what your book is. It's just all your frequently asked questions in a book. Here we are, Tom Foster and Hannah McNaughton on the Legal Marketing Edge. And you're a busy girl.
I am.
So let's get back to writing some good content for our clients and for us. And thanks again for visiting us here at the studio.
Thank
We'll see
you.
you soon. See you guys later.